see Lucian taken away by Alliance.
So Roccat is actually banning out the AD carries. It might be an issue for them if Caitlyn now is left open, because 3 AD carries that are gone. There's obviously still Ezreal for Celaver to play, in case everything else is gone. But the Sivir ban, I think it's more towards the combo with Sivir Wukong we have seen from Alliance working really well. Simply just remove that. Whoa, well,
Caitlyn's gone. And what are Roccat going to ban now? It'd be very interesting to see them ban Ezreal at this point, because I'm not sure where it's going to go.
Kassadin is open again.
Taken away. Kassadin is in, and Froggen's going to surely take Kassadin. How does Kassadin get banned in every game and then left open twice in a row?
Why would you ban Draven against Tabzz, who haven't played it at all, and then give them Kassadin on Froggen? I don't get it.
Well, it looks like Wickd didn't really understand that one either. He's had a little giggle and drinks his water down. Second Kassadin in a row, this time going to be with Froggen, and we saw there, pick 4% of the time, 100% win rate, of course.
And we saw the Kassadin last game. As long as you can get to these team fights, as long as you can get to the point where you have your items, you are so strong. Meanwhile, on the other side, Varus actually being locked in here for Roccat. So that's the AD carry they wanted to go for. Obviously, with both Lucian and Caitlyn being banned away. There's still something like an Ezreal open, maybe even a Vayne open for Tabzz on the other side. He used to be a big Vayne player. Yeah. And then obviously we have Renekton being locked in for Xaxus because the Tron was banned away, so he wants one of these very strong top laners.
Whilst I'd like to see something a little bit different from the AD carries, a Corki or Misfortune or something.
Or Kog'Maw, I would love Kog'Maw.
Or Kog'Maw, you've got to feel that it's going to be Vayne or Ezreal. Pretty much the only two that are really up there and played right now.
It's weird to say, but they would actually be like the standard choices for Tabzz at the moment, even though we don't see the AD carries too much, unless it's obviously Candy Panda with the Vayne. But yeah, it would be the standard ones for him, and Aurelia for Wickd. He loves to play it. Against Renekton, this matchup can be hard for him, especially early on where he has to rely on his mana, actually switches away.
Yep, switching away to Lee Sin, so Shook going to get his hands on Lee Sin. Funnily enough, I talked earlier on about Elise, and Elise has been allowed through here once again. We're seeing that more and more these days where, you know, we heard it from a couple of players that because she's not been played in scrims or even in solo queue because of the fact she's banned constantly, they feel that a lot of players have maybe lost a bit of touch and are a bit rusty with Elise, and it's safer to let her through. We
could say the same about Kassadin, obviously being banned away, but Kassadin as a champion is a lot easier to play than something like an Elise. And also your whole team early game, you need to make sure you can make it work. And there's a reason that they're like Alliance, we have obviously Amazing as well, taking this Lee Sin, because you can make so many plays early on. You have so many options of engaging and also setting up both ganks and counter ganks. And then together with obviously support like Fresh, throw back the Lantern, Lee Sin joins in, very hard to escape from.
Well, looks like it will be Elise Annie the choice here for Roccat for their jungle and support positions. We'll see if Vander can get anywhere near Edward's level of 463 AP, I think it was, in that last game, the win for Gambit. Well, that is certainly the choice coming in. We'll see now what AD carry they're going to go for, and whether overpow will bring something special to the table after that. But I didn't really think about anything other than Vayne Ezreal, but could it be a Corki in there?
Corgi is still out of favor, he's not very strong anymore. Ezreal or Vayne would make a lot more sense. Ezreal and Vayne are both very good at dodging actually the tapers from Annie. It's hard for her to hit these very mobile AD carries. She will be having a lot of poke in the lane though, together with a Varus. It's going to be hard for someone like Vayne to get the farm early on, because there's going to be a lot of long range poke from the side of Roccat. But yeah, if Wickd locks in also the Aurelia, as we talked about just before, mana issues for Aurelia early on compared to Renekton. Obviously no mana, he can constantly spam out his abilities, deal a lot of damage onto Wickd, so we'll see how he handles it.
Well, are they going to have it? I asked Nyph earlier on in the interview, were you trying to convince Wickd not to play Irelia? And he said, no, actually we were trying to convince him to play Irelia. This time though, he is going to be up against that Renekton. We do see the Vayne coming in from Tabzz. Actually, his Vayne was very, very scary in Season 3 when he was playing for the Lemon Dogs.
Oh, he was absolutely amazing on it. And you knew if he had Vayne, you had to deal with this split push. He loves to split push with it. We'll see if he's doing the same tactic here when you have both Kassadin and Aurelia actually bringing teleport at the moment. They can also do the split pushing. So Alliance, while they don't have wave clear, they have so many split pushing chances with this lineup, and they can duel anyone from Roccat as long as they don't lose this laning phase, which is going to be the crucial part, because we can see Roccat lane swapping against the Kassadin, and also just the standard lanes for Roccat are stronger.
We saw that Kha'zix was actually the choice here for overpow in this mid lane, and he's a player who's not scared to bring out the new stuff. Of course, Mordekaiser is the real big name in his lineup that he's brought out twice so far in this season, with 1 win and 1 loss on that Mordekaiser. But he's going to bring Kha'zix to the table. With that Kha'zix in there, will he possibly stay in that mid lane and go 1v1 against Kassadin?
I can see him stay mid lane, also because the rest of the lanes are so strong for Roccat. Renekton should be beating Aurelia. Varus, Annie in the bot lane should also be winning the lane. So pretty much all around, if they can win this early game, if they can shut down the lanes from Alliance, and then take it into the team fights, I actually see Roccat having a good chance.
Well, let's take a quick look at the numbers around this one to see who came out on top in the voting. Looks like 70% of you have picked Roccat over Alliance to win this one. And again, it's hard to argue with that one in terms of form, although Alliance, they've won the last 2 games against some teams like the Copenhagen Wolves against Superhot Crew. They are not in bad shape at all.
Not at all, and they've been loving this split push tactic, which everything in their combo is perfect for. So we can see them again. Can they survive this laning phase? Can they get a few starting items and then go out in the different lanes and just force Roccat to come up there and try and fight them and then lose to the Alliance combo? Good thing for them. But again, Roccat, we need to see how much they can actually do early on with the very strong combo, and also teamfight-wise. You have a lot of CC you can chain down with both Cocoon, you have obviously the Renekton stun, you have the Varus ultimate, the stun from Annie. It's a lot of CC you can bring down on someone like a Vayne or a Kassadin to more or less kill them instantly.
Now we're going to find out Alliance versus Roccat here at level 1. Will we see anything funky from them, man? Don't think we will, particularly considering how, as you've mentioned now a few times, that this early game is really everything as to how this game is going to get set up.
And it's very rare when we see the early invades that it's actually worth it, because you also use some of your summoners, or you at least under risk of using your summoner, and the first blood goal have been reduced. You don't have any wards to place early on that's going to stay for a long time. So it's very normal we see this standard lanes. And we see actually Dawn Shield on both supports. So it signals we're going to get a 2v2.
2v2 looking likely from this one. As you mentioned, Roccat have the stronger lanes when it comes to the heads-up matches in these ones, and with that, you'd expect that Shuk and Jankos are going to play big roles in getting this game going.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of mind games between those two. If one of them can catch someone out in a counter gank, turn it around, that's one thing Alliance can have for them. If Shuk can get going on this sin, if he can have some good ganks early on, he will be able to help out these lanes, and then Alliance will be very strong going into the late game.
Well, let's see, as we do hit 140 and the trinket wards start to come out. One put in the river there, which Shuk did get full vision of, so they know that they've got that vision around there. But I'm expecting that this standard happens, that Shuk backs off to blue buff with Wickd. We've already seen Jankos and Xaxus heading up towards their red buff, and things are going to get underway in the standard manner. Mid lane though, let's talk about this one, because it's been a while since we've seen this one. Back in Season 3 pretty much. Kassadin versus Kha'zix.
And so Kassadin have the advantage with firing his Q from range, but every time he closes in for a CS, Kha'zix can walk up to him, activate his Q, do a lot of damage to him. But Froggen actually getting the best start. He's also having the Thorn Shield, so he will have some defensive stats against this damage from overpow.
See that putting some good damage in the bottom lane. Oh, Roccat Nyph down to less than half HP already. However, he is going to be bringing up his hook here shortly as well, so we'll see how that one all works out for them, whether they go for anything at level 2.
And the way the bottom lane is going at the moment is what we can expect to see, because Varus will be able to poke a lot onto Tabzz. Same goes obviously for Annie, so it will be hard for him, and you see him just moving around. He just want to get into XP range of the minions when they die, but he can't actually go in for the last hit.
And they're doing a good job of actually zoning them out as much as he can there. And there is level 2 going to be hit by Roccat. And there's the damage straight away onto Tabzz. He steps forward to hit one minion, and he loses pretty much a third of his health by doing so. Does that mean that we're going to be seeing a lot more focus specifically from Shuk down towards his bottom, with Roccat pushing that lane a little bit further out?
There's at least a very good chance that he can join in, get the lantern from Nyph, set up a gank, because when you're this aggressive from the Roccat side, you are in position to actually get hooked by Nyph. And then if he's there, join in, pick up a kill. And we have seen when SK play Vayne, Sven can always do an early gank and a lot of aggression to Nyph.
There is the damage coming down. The hook will actually land on towards Vander. Condemn against the wall. Ignite is down. Have they got the damage here? Vander flashes and Jankos comes around. First blood did actually happen there for Vander in the end of it. He was running away, but his Ignite was enough to finish off Nyph.
Well, it's actually a very scary fight for Roccat side, because he got hooked at the wall, so he got knocked in by Tabzz. A lot of damage onto him, but simply also because Jankos could join in, help pick up the first blood. Nice play, and they get this early kill they actually really want to this bot lane.
Interesting to see how this mid lane all works out as well. Froggen isn't level 6, of course, just yet, so he's not got that innate escape ability that he's going to be relying on later on. Does play this one wisely, though, sticking to that top side of the mid lane where he knows his jungler's going to be waiting. There is a dive in. Froggen going to get the protection, but they're going on towards Shook. He's the squisher of the two. Shook gets the kill, dives out, but Jankos will return, gets the kill back, 1 for 1.
And both junglers actually pick up the kills, so nothing changes here, except for the fact that Froggen is still alive, staying in this lane, or at least trying to, but now Jankos want to push him out of the lane. Froggen, if he could stay around, he would get some XP, maybe a small advantage to him over overpow. But yeah, all in all, Jankos doing a good job trying to push him out.
And got his double buff reset as well, which is always a nice thing. And he's going to go in towards Froggen here. Q comes down. Can he finish this one off? Flash away from Froggen. Had to.
Very greedy actually going in for the minion, forcing himself to flash. He knew there was repel ready on Elise to join in or jump onto him and then force his own flash. So very risky play, but he definitely wanted that last piece of gold.
We've seen there in the bottom lane another brief exchange between the two AD carries. Celaver, who got the assist from earlier on, and there is a teleport, which we didn't touch on. We saw it in that last game actually with Kassadin, that the teleport came in. There is Jankos coming in. Wisely this time, Alliance have got a ward in the brush though.
And that's the thing with this double teleport. Aurelia, obviously, Wickd bring in the teleport as well. We need to see if they actually want to go to 2 different lanes and then actually going aggressive with Froggen.
If a cocoon lands, Froggen is surely dead from this one. They're waiting. He dodges the cocoon, but he's not going to dodge the damage. Jankos, the spider, kills him. That's 2 kills already for Jankos.
And Froggen paid the price for staying around before going in for that minion, so he had to blow his own flash just to pick up a single minion. Paid the price.
Jankos 2-0-1, getting off to pretty much the dream start here. Bottom laners have started to pick up items now as well. A Vamp Scepter, Doran's Blade, of course, from the start for both. But the boots coming in here as well for Celaver. So that assist that he got earlier on, helping him out on that front. At this moment, we see that Shook's having to come around here and just defend on this mid lane, so that the turret doesn't actually take damage whilst Froggen is back at base, picking up his tier.
And overpow have been doing a very good job getting the CS lead here. He's simply taking advantage of the fact that Froggen can either Q him and then lose the minion, or he can Q the minion and then do no damage to overpow when he actually tries to last hit. So very good play by him. And also he has a very early brutalizer now. There's less sustain, but he got the flask and a health pot, but he's going to have a lot more burst damage.
So piercing arrow coming through from Celaver, massive range that's got on it, and good chunk of damage as well if you get caught full in the face with that one. Tabzz as such, sticking behind as many minions as he possibly can, trying to stay as close to safety as possible.
But Tabzz have been doing an amazing job CSing under the turret. He's actually ahead at the moment, and with these minions pulling even further ahead. So he's doing a very good job together with Nyph, getting all the CS they want.
There's Jankos 2-0-1 after early kills. On his way around, he's actually picked up Sorcerer's Shoes here, so got himself a nice bit of penetration early on, as we do see Tabzz taking a lot of damage. Piercing arrow does come through once again, but here is the Lantern Gang. Shook trying to get in. Can he land the Q on towards Vander? No, he lands on towards Celaver, but that's not the target he wanted. He backed straight off.
Celaver actually stopped up to block the Q because he didn't want to go onto Vander, who didn't have a flash. Meanwhile though, Roccat going for this blue buff because they know both their laners are actually ahead.
No problem taking it either. Not a single man from Alliance there to stop them going in for that one. We've seen Xaxus playing Kha'zix, by the way, mid lane, evolving a little bit differently than we expected. How do we expect overpow to go?
I would expect to see him involve his Q, have a lot of focus on just the burst damage he can do. With all this CC from Roccat, lock down a target, everyone goes on the same one, he jumps in, gets the reset, and then he moves on. And that's why I expect him to actually involve the Q.
Still a lot of damage from Froggen coming in, but overpow not backing off, as though he kind of is waiting and baiting Froggen to come in and play that game with that one, as we are going to see Jankos doing a lot of damage here to Shook inside of the jungle. And that's that early penetration we were talking about. And overpow and Froggen do have a little bit of a carry on in mid lane, but nothing too serious. Well, look at this. They've obviously set their sights on Alliance's buffs, because they've not only taken the red buff, blue buff away, now they're going to have the red, and Alliance have backed off. They can't do anything.
And here's the thing, they're actually playing this perfect early game wise because again, they know the laners are stronger in these early fights, so they just simply go into the buffs of Alliance, don't even care about Alliance being nearby. If they join in, they will win the fight from Rockat's side, so they're just using the advantage of stronger laners.
Nope, and Jankos just throws a ward over and sees that both Froggen and Shook were waiting in there. I think was quite obvious. The fact that Shook knew this red buff had gone, would probably try and challenge over on the other side of the map, but Now that he's lost positional advantage, Jankos going to go in there, absolutely destroying that red buff, and he'll just refresh the one that he stole earlier.
And overPow actually decided to involve his E early on, so he's gonna get the reset, see if he can pick up a kill in, for instance, a teamfight at Dragon. And again, this very CC heavy team from Roccat, if they can lock down a target, he will be getting the reset and can continue jumping around. So we need to see at the next time when he can actually involve, if he's going for the Q.
It'll be interesting seeing how he really gets rolling on that one. Got himself that brutalizer in there already, 2 assists to his name, of course, and he's about 4 or 5 CS in the lead over his opposite number, Froggen, who, again, we're wondering, Kassadin managing to get through as Xaxus here. Going to have a bit of a tiff with Wickd, but is he going to be able to actually take him down? And is he going to try and pop the dominance, but it was all about damage?
I mean, again, we actually have to give credit to Alliance here. Notice the lanes. Wickd keeping up in CS, Froggen keeping up in CS, and down in the bot lane, Tabzz is actually winning at the moment. So despite them having strong, weaker laners on paper, they're doing a very good job farming here and keeping up with Roccat.
Jankos going to go now. He's done both camps on both sides of the map, so maybe now time to get involved in the lanes if there's an opportunity. Right now, bottom, not really. You've got both Tabzz and Nyph who've backed away, and well, this may be the option for him. We see overPow coming down. We see that Vander is going to join them. Celaver just keeping the bottom lane of Alliance locked in position there in the bottom lane, and this is a freebie.
Very smart play, very safe, because they put down the pink ward, so they know there's no vision for Alliance side. They could only have a ward in the river push up here. Yes, they do have 2 teleports. They would be able to teleport down. But all in all, a very nice play. Now going on to Tabzz.
Oh, good early flash, but he's going to get locked. Wow, Tabzz, you're in the wrong place, my friend. And at least he's on the map. That's what they were aiming for. Get a 6th man in the team, and all's good.
Very good lantern, though, from Nyph. Instant reactions when he saw the stun coming down. Tabzz could click it, get into tower range, and also dodge the Tabzz.
So that leaves them with a couple of ultimates less. Exactly 2, in fact, down in that bottom lane. The ultimate out of Varus and Annie both being burnt during that one. Good play, though, as you said, by Nyph. And honestly, Tabzz keeps that CS lead at this point. Still doing very, very well on that front. Mid lane, Froggen has caught right up as well on towards overPow. Just a couple of CS between those two.
And that's a big issue for Roccat, the fact that they have actually 2 threats now they need to shut down, both Froggen and Tabzz down in the bot lane. You don't want Vayne or Kassadin to get the farm early on, so they become these really, really strong champions. They have been doing a good job, though, getting the buffs. They got the dragon, so they've been taking things around the map, and now going aggressive on Vander.
Yeah, because we do have Lee Sin coming in, comes down with the lantern. Vander's dead, not going to be able to escape from that one. Too much lock-up potential, and as soon as that box goes down, and I mean, he did have a flash there, Vander, but he probably would have flashed and been slowed completely anyway, and then once the Lee Sin Q would have hit him, it would have been game over for him. That's 3-2 in kills for Roccat, who still have about 1,000 gold lead.
And that was the perfect gang we talked on earlier. When you have Fresh, throw back the lantern, Lee Sin takes it, jumps in there, and wisely enough by Vander, no reason to flash in. Wickd now going on to Xaxus.
Yeah, Xaxus is going to have to pop his ultimate here, but I think Wickd may just have the better of him or not. That's a lot of damage that Xaxus actually puts back on him. Tiamat Renekton.
Tiamat, he also had Ignite to the teleport of Wickd, and Wickd already used his ultimate, so he didn't have more damage to bring, that's why he backed off. But he actually did get the ultimate and the Ignite from Xaxus, so worth it for him, because he can still stay in the lane and farm.
Curious when we see overPow moving around a little bit more. He's quite content at this point to see that Froggen's there with him and not doing any roaming of his own to get these lanes really moving. But this is another thing. The second round of blue buff spawning in. Don't think they actually had a timing on it there, Alliance, because there was no vision on it before. Exactly.
They didn't have the timer. That's why Shook is in completely missed position. He's down towards the bottom lane. Wasn't even close for Wickd going on Xaxus again.
Ooh, this is very risky though. He's got no mana pretty much left from that one. Jankos is waiting and he's... why did Wickd back away? That's because there's a ward in there. Use that sweeping lens just to clear things out. And he might be able to get some good turret damage here because I don't imagine Wickd will stay.
Wickd have to back at the moment. He has no mana left. So very smart move actually by Jankos coming up here, pressing down the turret. They will be able to pick it up if they stay around.
And it looks like it will be that first turret of the game. Taking us a while here. 13.5 minutes almost into our 5th match of day 2 of Super Week. And now we see Lee Sin coming towards the mid lane. overPow doesn't have vision of him, but Lee Sin's actually recalling. I think just testing to see what overPow's going to do there.
So again, Roccat is doing everything perfect on the map. They got the dragon, they got the blue buff twice, took the top turret now because also Renekton could force Aurelia to use all her mana. but they're still not winning in CS, and that's the issue, and that's what Alliance can just rely on here. They can just say, you know what, we don't mind losing these things, because as long as we farm, we will be so strong when it comes later in the game, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
Jankos is coming down bottom now, though. This could be interesting. Pretty much going to take Tabzz to come out from it. We see that ward in the brush there where Vander is. Ah, very smart.
Too obvious.
But for me, yeah, I was going to say, that's a very much Captain Obvious move.
Yeah, there's only one reason you would ping there, and that's obviously if you're about to set up a gank. So wisely enough, you see both Nyph and Tabzz moving all the way down to the turret, taking no chance.
Froggen bursting on towards overPow. Bear in mind, he's not got any damage extra in him right now with that tier. And moving up there as well towards his Rod of Ages. Not really got any damage items, and still he's able to chunk overPow down like that.
That's also why he's just happy farming. He doesn't want to set up fights with Shug at the moment. And Shug just came in there, made sure Froggen could get the CS on the turret, then he backed off, went back to the jungle, and continued farming. We've only seen Shug actually being active with two things. First, there was obviously the fight in mid lane against Jankos and also overPow, and then he went down bot when we saw the hook from Nyph. And he's actually been doing his job. He's picking up the kills he needed, and also he made sure to defend his lanes if they needed.
AD carries have also built up there. I say AD carries more specific on this one. Tabzz got his Blade of the Ruin King done. Other side, Bloodthirster not quite finished off until now by Celaver, who has wrestled back the CS lead on this one, albeit just by 5. Not really much to talk about. Froggen, in the meantime, in the mid lane, is also now feeling a little bit more comfortable. He's got his Rod of Ages just picked up there as well, so he's going to try and assert some dominance onto overPow.
Generally just a very good start for Froggen, getting a lot of farm, getting the early items he wants. That really needs to be stacking up to be very strong. We need to see though when the next dragon spawns here in 48 seconds, if Alliance wants to contest. Or are they just happy giving it over to Roccat? They don't actually have the timer because it was a pink ward from Rockat's side, so there's no vision from Alliance. So we will see what happens. Of course they have the double teleport, so they can maybe go up to top lane, try and take the turret in exchange.
There is overPow picking up his blue buff as well. 30 seconds for Dragon coming in.
And now actually Kha'zix involves his Q, so we will get this single target burst onto the CC. He can provide, try and get the kill, get the reset, and then jump on.
Dangerous times possibly for Alliance incoming here. As you mentioned, those teleports are both available now. Xaxus not got teleport, he has to take the long, arduous journey down from that top lane in towards the river so that they can fight over this dragon, which has now spawned in. Roccat going to be pushing this mid lane up completely. Bottom lane actually held in the middle by Alliance, but we can see that Roccat is putting as much damage as they can onto this mid turret. And I tell you what, they might just be able to take this one away.
It's such a good move by Roccat because, again, no threat of them losing this dragon due to the fact that Alliance didn't have the timer. They don't have one ward, but they're not in a position to fight at the moment. So Roccat, instead of moving 5 people down for dragon, they didn't need it. They just put 2 into the mid turret, took that one. Yes, Wickd can pick up the top turret, but still worth it for Roccat.
2 out of 2 dragons. There's a hook. He actually lands on Vander, but you might just be hooking Tabzz into the rest of your team. There is Tabzz. Vander flashed away.
Whoa.
The Lee Sin Q already hit him. Actually, it was Nyph's Ignite that got the kill in the end. And once again, we see supports picking up the kills left and right. It's a 1 for 0 in favor of Alliance. Brings them level on kills. Yes, they lost the dragon, but that was almost a free kill they got.
Yeah, and every time Shug is around his bot lane, they feel comfortable fighting. So we see the hook coming in, and then he simply joins in. And due to the damage from his Q over the wall, the Ignite from Nyph could actually pick up the kill.
A return for Tabzz. What is he going to add into that Blade of the Ruin thing that we saw him pick up just a little bit earlier on? His opposite number, Celaver, already, well, just finishing off that Bloodthirster as well. Wickd slowly but surely working himself into the Trinity Force. Got himself Phage and Sheen, the 2 parts of that one. And that's what he's gone for the Warden's Mail in there first, and then we'll slowly build up to that Trinity Force. And also seeing, oh look, blue buff's gone again. So
now they actually get the timer. Here he can time it and say, now we know when the blue buff is going to spawn. Next one we are ready to fight for it. Obviously Roccat don't have the timer because they didn't actually have vision. Oh, they do have a ward behind. But you see action in bot.
Jankos getting hooked, and his stun was built up for Vander on Annie, but I think they realized, hang on a minute, they didn't back off whatsoever when they saw that we were 3 in that bottom lane. That must mean that Shook is around there somewhere, and Roccat have completely backed off onto the turret, not even wanting to get involved in that.
Going back to the blue buff though, I'm not sure if Roccat actually have the timer because the ward doesn't give vision of this area.
Yeah.
So they have seen Wickd obviously recalling around there, but they didn't know when he actually cleared it. So they won't have. We will see what they do actually when the next one spawns. For Wickd, while he did lose his turret, he's still been farming very well. And with the early armor he picked up with the Warden's Mail, that's what you want to do against Renekton to stop a lot of his damage. He's been doing well farm-wise, and he will actually be very strong now with the Trinity Force.
That's interesting. Alliance got control of that bottom lane with the presence of Shook. They recalled, and Roccat said, "We know you've recalled. We're going to come straight into that one." As Vander and Shook don't actually know if they really saw each other there, but the Q's going to land. There's the kick. Oh, into the hook. It doesn't get much better than that, I'm afraid. Tabzz picks up the kill onto Celaver. They might not be done just yet. Q landed onto overPow. He will walk off though, no follow, but what a combo from Alliance.
Absolutely beautiful. Kicking him back, and Nyph is just like, yeah, I'll catch that. Throws the hook.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff from Alliance. That puts them back in the leading kill. Still behind by 2,000 gold. But look at Wickd. He's pushed up that lane once again. He's got that Trinity Force in there now, but he's going to have Xaxus coming in his way. Tiamat and also that random Entombment. Wickd decides, I'm probably going to just back off from this. Now Alliance going to make a play. They've actually gone on towards Nyph, and there is Kha'zix. Gets himself the one kill. Can they get any more? A cocoon from Jankos would be really the number that they're looking for, but actually Shook's in there. Here comes the teleport. Froggen going to join in as well. They're going very low. Tabzz does take down overPow, and that is going to be brilliant once again from Alliance. Jankos going pretty low. Will he dive in? Q connected, but no, Jankos walks away.
And Wickd also tried to teleport down, but he got interrupted in the mid lane by Renekton. If he had joined in, they could have gone for more. Also picking up at least a few more kills, but Froggen coming down with the teleport. Very nice turnaround from Alliance, but we also saw the burst potential of Rocket's combo here when they landed CC, and then overPow jumps in. Now going on to Wickd.
Ooh, Wickd is caught in a little bit of a difficult position there, but the presence of Froggen going to cause them some problems, and look at the damage he puts in there on towards Celaver. He's not done. He's going to keep going from this one, possibly. Look at this. Shook's coming around the side. Can he land the Q? More damage comes in. He goes off. Oh, and he misses. Q not quite landing onto either of them there. Good try nonetheless from Alliance.
And this Kassadin is going to be such a big issue. Picking up all the farm he wants, he has the early items he wants again. He will be so hard to deal with, and now with the teleport, obviously on cooldown, he won't be able to make a lot of plays unless he roams by himself until he's ready again. But we just saw the power of having this teleport. When there's a gang down in bot lane, it was in favor of Roccat, but then two members just started teleporting. One got interrupted, but the other one joined, picked up a kill.
That leaves Alliance 5-4 in the lead. Still behind in gold though. That's something that they're going to have to try and remedy. They are a turret behind, so that's really where that one is coming from. Of course, they did lose out on both dragons so far in this game. That's something that Roccat have done well.
That's the thing again. Roccat have been doing everything perfect with the combo, except for actually winning on CS in the lanes. They've taken the buffs, they've taken the dragons. The last one, there was a ward from Alliance though, so they saw them moving in there and moving away, so they will have the timer on it, and we can then see for the next dragon, if they actually want a team fight, or they're just happy, constantly farming, extending the game as much as possible, because again, Kassadin Vayne, and also Vayne with 2 kills. Very scary things like this.
Maybe an understatement later on, we'll see. And we know how mechanically good Tabzz is well. He showed that time and time again. Of course, a former mid laner with the most fearsome fizz in the world he was at one point.
Definitely.
And, well, now playing his trade in the bottom lane. He's actually building up that Trinity Force as well. So going the Candy Panda way that we've seen, pretty much the exclusive Vayne player so far here in the LCS. Aside from a couple of other appearances, but we've got 30 seconds till Dragon. That means both teams going to start clearing out. Nyph is going to get caught from this one. He is going to play, but does he have a flash? No, he doesn't. He's dead.
Look at the damage from overPow already. Bloodthirster, he has the Brutalizer. So much single target burst he can put down, and that is the scary thing again for Alliance. And this time around, with Nyph being dead, even though they have the timer, they can't actually fight for this one. And Wickd, he's still also staying in the top lane. Or will they actually try and fight? Xaxus left top, so it's only 4 members from Roccat here. They could actually go in for it.
They've just given their position away.
Oh.
Put a wall down over the top of the wall. And overPow is thinking, can I have a go at Tabzz? Can I kill him before Wickd will get the better of me here? Vander coming up, that will certainly make the process a little bit easier. Wickd. And there we go, he's going to jump in onto him. In fact, Xaxus is there as well. There's the stun. Wickd down below half HP. He's dead, he's walking away. Ah, he's not, maybe not dead just yet.
Oh,
wow,
the
piercing
snipe.
arrow, snipe from Celaver will pick them up that one. Very, very interesting stuff. Again, Wickd caught completely by surprise.
And for the second time around this Dragon, Roccat is using the superior vision control they have in this river with the pink ward up there to actually get the kills. Now Shook, he wants maybe trying to steal this one, but it's very hard. Now he backs off wisely.
Backs away, and overPow came in there trying to look for some more damage onto him. That's Baron 3, wow. Dragon 3 of the game, all 3 of them going over to Roccat.
But again, that pink ward in the push we see right down here in the river definitely paid off. Gave him 2 kills and a Dragon now for Roccat.
And possibly a turret here if Alliance aren't careful about things. Froggen was down the bottom lane, no teleport, so his split pushing power becomes a little bit less effective until that teleport does get back up, which it will be in a second. And here's that blue buff we were talking about earlier on. Jankos actually going to steal that one away again, and Celaver says, Jankos, please clear out the camp so we know when it spawns again.
Get the timer. It's actually been up for a while because Alliance was kept busy down here towards the Dragon. And Nyph, he needs to be careful. He's been caught out a few times already.
Possibly real bad news for Alliance. There we go, ultimates coming left and right. Nyph going to be picked up first. There is a good box coming down. And actually, the damage is coming back here. It's going pear-shaped for Roccat. Wickd picks up one. Can they get on towards Vander? No, they'll be happy to take out Xaxus. And Froggen does get himself a kill there finally. They lost Tabzz in that one, but it was a 2-for-1.
And the fact that it's the support and jungler walking in first, taking all the damage, meant that the rest of the lines come in and the hook.
Oh, he might have a lot of damage, but he's got no health. He's a dead man. 3-for-1. They're going to have the turret away, and to be honest, Alliance might think about keeping going on this one. Froggen tracking up the turret. Not really what he wanted, but that was a pure win for Alliance.
Pure win. The trap from Roccat was smart, but he just completely backfired because it was Nyph walking in first together with Shook. They took all the damage, all the CC onto them, and the box and the flay he put up knocked them away. Notice here the trap. Look, he was going first. Straight onto Nyph, a lot of damage, then he flays Xaxus actually when he tries to dash in, puts it up, and Froggen, he comes in from behind here. And look at Celaver, flashing away. Nope, Kassadin is there, Lee is there, and obviously Aurelia. Tabzz is taking actually 2 members, keeping them away from the rest. So he did his job more or less, and it simply also meant that when the kill was there for overPow, he didn't have anyone to jump to now because the rest of his team were already running away.
8-17 kills. It's been pretty much back and forth the kill counter throughout this one. And while the gold counter has stayed in one direction, though, we have to say, Roccat are still ahead here, albeit by less than 1,000 gold at this point.
But they are ahead with a very strong early game laning phase combo, and also with a combo that really needs to be careful when dealing with these very mobile champions. So we need to see some very good CC coming out. We need the cocoons, we need obviously the stun from Xaxus, and then we just need to see Roccat pile onto them, and hopefully not Nyph the next time.
We talk about Roccat and their position in the table, but if you look at their past 5 games, there's not that much to celebrate, actually, if you're a Roccat fan, except the win against Gambit, of course, which was a magical time for us all. I think,
he stole it.
Nice steal from Shook. They've only picked up 1 win in the last 5 games. A loss against Alliance would actually mean that they're on a pretty bad run of things.
Things generally for Roccat, we actually talked with the coach, Veggie. You interviewed him on one stage where he said, our early game has been too weak. There's also been the issue in the games they actually lost, and that could be one of the reasons we see this very strong combo for them here early on. And again, they actually have more or less lost it the early game because yes, they got all the objectives, and now Shook going very aggressive.
Oh, he's going to have to kick them away and takes the lantern as well. That was calmly played by Shook, and actually Alliance aren't done here by the looks of things. They're going to keep working their way around. They're in full vision of Roccat. Roccat are in full vision of them. There is the sweeping lens to take it out. The blue buff is still alive, and to be honest, Roccat have had all of Alliance's blues pretty much this game. Alliance wanted one back, but in the end, too dangerous for them.
So finally, Roccat can actually pick up the blue. And as I said before, don't get me wrong on this, Roccat have been doing a good job early game getting the objective, but the fact they haven't been able to shut down Kassadin or Vayne or Aurelia is the issue, and it showed the weak early game for them, this game at least, laning-wise.
And that's become more and more of an issue as things goes on. There's a red buff for Tabzz when he does finally take it down. Will be good times for him. Trinity Force and that Blade of the Ruin King. If you look over the other side, the Bloodthirster and Last Whisper, and actually going a little bit defensive here is Celaver.
He has to do it. Kassadin is going to jump onto him, Lee Sin is going to jump to him, and obviously Wickd is going to jump to him. Something like a Banshee can take a lot of the upfront damage from a Kassadin, so it is a wise item, but they can pop it with Wickd just going in there, popping his Q towards him. He will still get to him and just do no damage, but he's still going to pop the Banshee, and then Froggen can jump in afterwards.
That's just trying to figure out if they could actually catch out Froggen, which for me, you're probably never going to do against the Kassadin, especially one whose flash is going to be coming up off cooldown as well. And interesting thing for me is overPow. We've seen how much single target damage he's got, but tankiness is definitely not there for him at this point. He got hooked and was dead instantly, and if he dies without getting the resets and picking up kills in the fights, they've lost so much damage from their composition.
Him and Froggen are actually trying to play the same way in team fights. They want to stay back at first, then they notice a low target, and then they jump in. If they go in as the first one, they're obviously just going to get blown up. It's easy for Roccat to even stun Froggen if he goes in first, with all the CC they got. So both of them are looking to play the same style of team fights, and it's just a matter of the other people on the team. Can they get someone low? So the first one, so one of them can jump in, and then obviously we have the reset from overPow, which is going to be the key thing in these fights.
Now we're going to see the point of the game where it comes to dancing around Baron. We're almost half an hour into this game now, and we can already see that walls have started to come in and been cleared out straight away afterwards.
And that's a perfect thing for Alliance if it's coming down to the Baron dance, because they have the double teleport. Wickd is in the bot lane, nobody's there to stop him at the moment, and if someone moves there, rest of Alliance is around Baron, they can just start it. But for now though, Dragon has spawned, timer for both teams, they know it's up. Let's see what actually happens.
Froggen is on that top side again. Just to reiterate, teleport is there for him. Wickd is actually on the bottom side of the Dragon Pit at this point. It looks like the Alliance have decided not to go for this one. We are going to see Shook there at the backside, but he doesn't even try to get in. And that is Dragon number 4 going over to Roccat.
And Alliance clearly showing they don't want a team fight at the moment, just focus on pushing out every single lane. Froggen is having a good wave with him towards his top turret, and now the rest of Alliance is rotating up there to get some damage on it.
Good positional play. Roccat are following them though. Will they be able to get anything kicked off? There's the vision that they wanted. Vander moving in, and in the end, Alliance back straight off.
And meanwhile, Wickd down in the bot lane, onto the turret. Nobody from Roccat is close. Nobody has teleport. They can go down there. You see Xaxus trying to run all the way, and now engage.
Oh, they're going towards overPow. He actually pops his ultimate there in the end just to get away from things, and that is going to be dangerous, dangerous stuff for them. And just he traps that up, and there is his ultimate actually timing out. We can see he's recalling in that brush on the top side, but Wickd has taken down that inner turret, and now Roccat have to decide, what do we do about this one? They've sent Tabzz there to deal with him, but it leaves just 2 men, possibly 3 with Elise hanging around to defend top.
Exactly, and that is the whole issue for them. They need to either full-on engage with 5 people up top, ignore Wickd when he's split pushing, try and pick up the kills they want, go towards the Baron afterwards, or they have to just spread out on the map and then follow Alliance around. Just try and 1v1 them, 2v2 them, and see if they can win them.
Or a sneaky Baron.
Or a sneaky Baron could work too.
I don't think a sneaky Baron really is something of an option in most games. Sometimes you'll get away with it where Alliance maybe take their eye off the ball for a little bit longer than they should, but just can't really see that one happening here. It looks like they're actually going to send both Froggen and Wickd down towards his bottom lane. And that's another interesting concept. You can have Froggen waiting off, trying to draw someone in towards Wickd, and before you know it, you sat in a 2v1.
Yeah, and while Xaxus is very tanky, if he gets caught by these 2 members, he will die. He can't escape it. They can chase him so easily, even though he has double dash and his flash. So again, that's what Alliance can do, and they're actually playing the map very smart at the moment, because they want to make sure that if something should happen somewhere, we will have the advantage. And that's the risk-free play from Alliance again. They're not just going straight to Baron, starting it, hoping that Roccat isn't nearby. They're just moving around here, trying to outposition Roccat.
Froggen is going to jump over into that lane, and Tabzz has been drawn down to it. How far will he actually come out from the base? And we can see all he does, clears out the wave, just heads back off. But he is going to go over a ward here in a second, which will give his position away, but there's minions already through. They'll spot Froggen.
And Roccat is simply thinking, we haven't seen Kassadin up in top lane, even though it was a big wave. We didn't see him mid lane. Why is not fighting man? Tabzz actually went in.
Well, he's gone in there, and he might just pay the price. He's going to pop his dominance. That will get him off in towards the jungle. And with that ward that Alliance had there, they saw the rest of the Roccat team starting to close in on them. And actually, they've gone back into this one. Let's see what the plan is. It's obviously Vayne who's doing all the damage in the top lane, just going to be pushing that straight through. They know that there were 3 men inside the jungle now. Tabzz is going to have his time. Wickd and Froggen could just back off there, and they know that they're going to get the numbers advantage up on the top lane.
And this kind of tactic that Alliance is pulling is one of the most annoying things to play against, because you don't feel like you have a counterplay unless you get a hard engage and then you win a team fight. And now it's Shook going in towards Jankos.
That is pretty sick stuff as well. Going in onto the minion with the teleport
Survive,
just before it dies. survives, tanks up all the damage, and they're able to get in, but this might cost them now. Overpow getting in. There's a lantern for Wickd. That'll send him off to safety. And Shook actually waiting off to the side. Are they going to go in? They've managed to hook Overpow. This could be dangerous. Tabzz has gone down. Ultimate's been thrown in all over the place. Overpow does go down. Double kill for Froggen. It's going to not be a triple. It's Tabzz that picks up that one, but he gets himself a double as well. Now it's only Xaxus left alive. How is he going to escape from this team? The answer is probably not. Randuin's has popped. Xaxus goes down. Triple kill for Tabzz.
And the second alliance see Roccat chasing after them. Teleport comes in from Froggen, and they land the hook on Overpow, the perfect target to hook. Goes straight in, wins the fight. Xaxus, he was running from base trying to join in. And also look who got the kills. Triple kill on Vayne, double kill on Kassadin. Couldn't be more perfect.
And they're going to lose a possible 2 inhibitors for this one. Wickd has already got that inhib turret in the top lane down to less than half HP, putting some good damage in on that one. Roccat only just starting to respawn into the game, and that will be the second inhib going down. Brilliant stuff from Alliance.
So now we're at the point of the game for Rockat's side where they have 2 options. Either they walk into their own jungle, place a ping ward, and hope someone from Alliance will face check them, they instant kill that target, and then they just go Baron. Or you just run straight down 5 people, hope Alliance isn't in a position to stop it, maybe see someone like Froggen showing down bot lane without the teleport, and then you just try this desperate Baron call, which often goes wrong, but you don't really have a choice at the moment.
And Froggen now has that Void Staff added in, his Xerath's Embrace is already done, a needlessly large rod as well for him as Nyph starts to clear out around that Baron area. And there's the Guardian Angel for Tabzz as well. Going to make it so much harder here for Roccat to actually fight them straight up and have any chance of winning.
The combo from Alliance, as soon as they got out of the laning phase after doing so well, it just signals very dangerous things. And they've been playing the map absolutely perfect, giving no chance to Roccat. And even when Roccat actually wanted to fight, Alliance still won it. And that really signals how well they've been playing.
Alliance again grouping around. Roccat trying
are actually waiting in the pink and pink bush, so they're trying at least to set something up.
Trying to be smart about this one, but Alliance looking like they've taken a leave out of the Copenhagen Wolves' book and said no risks in this one. We play it how it's supposed to be.
And also notice the wards in the jungle of Roccat. It's going to be very hard for them to catch someone out, because with all this vision, with obviously the bot lane pushing by itself due to the inhibitor being down, Alliance can just take it easy and slow and wait for someone of Roccat to actually go back.
Shook getting Cocoon, but there is a hook coming in towards Jankos. Box goes down. Overpow's trying to get in towards Froggen, but he's dodged off to the back. Already using Xerath's shield, but Vander's going to be hunted on the backside. Xaxus is surely going to fall as well. Froggen going on towards Celaver with the help of Tabzz, and they're absolutely obliterating Roccat. The other 2 men have walked off to the side. Alliance get the 3, and they're going to go for Baron.
And once again, Alliance showing how far ahead they are, how good the champions are in these team fights. And Roccat, they had to try something. Again, we just gotta say it, they needed to try something.
Nexus turrets. They're actually losing the Nexus turrets here. We did see a recall finally for Jankos to actually come around, and that's going to stop that happening, but they've lost 1.
Lost 1 already, lost the Baron, lost 3 members. Again, 6 kills onto Vayne, 3 kills onto Kassadin with 9 assists. Everything is looking absolutely perfect for Alliance. And we gotta give them credit here. They've really been showing up this Super Week.
And another thing I want to point out, the stat just flickered in there. 0 dragons for Alliance. But they've done that, and they've let them go, and they've said, okay, we don't lose anything else apart from the dragon itself.
And that all boils down to the fact they won the lanes on CS, so they got actually the farm they needed. They didn't need the objectives, they were fine giving them to Roccat. Didn't want to take any chances fighting with this weak early game combo, and it's just paying off for them now.
Going for the second inhibitor of the game. The super minions, of course, working up from that bottom lane, have already taken 1 Nexus turret here for Alliance. They've not got much more to take down in this base before they can call this game theirs. And there is the inhibitor going down. Lantern in position to take anyone who needs it to safety, and that's exactly what they do.
And now 2 games in a row, Kassadin have been left open. 2 games in a row, he's been very, very hard to deal with when it comes down to the team fights. I expect to see Band in the next one.
Thanks for that one, genius.
Well, it's just been open 2 times, so...
I can't imagine that Kassadin goes through the second time, but apparently that did happen, as we've just seen overpow actually cleansing away from that one. And that Quicksilver Sash, we are going to see actually damage coming onto him. Xaxus is going to go down to less than half HP, and look at the damage coming in. Froggen actually will pick up that one. It's now a 5 versus 4. They can win right here.
They can more or less finish it, because overpow, he's taking a lot of damage every time he even jumps up. Froggen, he's feeling safe, jumping in, doing the damage. Only 1 turret left. 3 inhibitors down. Alliance 2 options, either they just go in and try and finish, or they play very safe and try and back off.
I think going and try and finish right now,
I like
that
this
may
way
even
too.
be the safer thing to do for them, as we do see the ulti coming out of Celaver, not going to make the slightest of difference to them. They hammer away on the Nexus. This is the victory for Alliance. They pick up an impressive victory over Roccat. And well, Kassadin getting through, second game in a row. Froggen nailed it.
And also the Vayne pick for Tabzz. 580 carries were banned away. He just picked Vayne and then he goes big in this game. He took so much work. He actually won the laning phase on Vayne. And you invested 5 bans onto the 80 carries.
I have to wonder if it's worth it at that point.
Of course not.
Of course it's not in the end. I mean, we can see that now, but all those 80 carries gone. He picks up Vayne, which we know Tabzz is gonna. Roccat obviously weren't there last season when he was playing Vayne with the Lemon Dogs, but we know how good he is. And Roccat should know how good he is. And if Vayne's open and none of the other 80 carries are there to shut him down, he's going to do well.
There's the whole thing about the champ select from Rocket's side. First 2 picks was Renekton and Elise. Well, Wickd is preferring Aurelia anyway, so you don't really take anything away from him. Also, you already had the Lee Sin being locked in for Shook. He didn't mind the Elise being gone. Simply saying that Alliance just wanted champ select. As long as they could survive the early game, like we talked about, survive the laning phase, the game was theirs.
And another impressive win for them. I mean, that's now 3 on the bounce for Alliance. And I remember after the Super Hot Crew game saying, they're a yo-yo team, you know, they win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one. They came through all this odd week, even week thing that wasn't really a thing. It just happened to work out that way. They seem to be stabilizing a little bit now.
And they really found a playstyle, much like the Copenhagen Wolves, with this very risk-free mid-game. You don't take any chances, you slowly grind out the enemy team, go through all different lanes, push them up, get the turrets, and then catch them out whenever you actually have the chance. And this tactic, as long as you have good early game, and you get into the mid-game, you can use it, and it really works.
And, you know, the